liquid gel eyeliner thing, or whatever you call it. There's lots of different names for that style, but it's one that I do quite a lot because it's quite a 60s look, and the 60s is my favourite fashion era. I planned on doing this video a lot sooner, but my skin has been in such a state from stress, and I was going to wait until it had kind of settled down, but then I thought, fuck it, I might as well do the video. Excuse my language. So firstly, I want to just talk about different products you can use to do this. So firstly, you can use a bog standard pencil, and this is just your normal eyeliner pencil. Loads of brands do them. This one is Bourjois. I've had it for a very, very long time, and it's a very vibrant green colour. You may have seen me wear it in other videos. Yeah, what colour is it? No, the bit where it actually said what shade it was has disappeared now. But yeah, you can use a normal standard pencil of any kind. Next we have something that's specifically designed to be an eyeliner pen in a way, and there's a lot of these as well that you can get, but this one is the Maybelline New York Master Precise one, and it was very, very affordable, and they had two in the range. They have this one which is Master Precise, and then another one which is, I can't remember what it was called, but basically the nib is just a lot thicker, so if you want a big line you can get the bigger one, whereas this one, as you can see, is a very fine point, which I like, because with a fine point you can be really precise. And also if I want to go for a thicker liquid line, I have that option because I can just build it up with this one. Now the next thing is, sorry if there's background noise, there's construction going on outside. Now the next part is when you get a pot of liquid gel. This method is a little bit more tricky, I think, but I've got two examples here. This is the MAC Fluid Line in Macro Violet shade. Do you see it's like a purple kind of shiny colour, and it's very creamy. I've used quite a bit of it there. And then the next one is a Bobbi Brown gel liner. What's it called? Gel eyeliner. Oh, that was in French. Longwear gel eyeliner. And it's in the shade Black Ink. And it's very, very black. And you can, maybe it looks like it's a bit dried out. No, it is a bit dried out. So my problem that I've experienced with these gel pots is they dry out quite quickly, and that makes them really hard to work with, very crumbly, and you can add some moisture back to them. Like this one, I've put it in the microwave a couple of times for 20 seconds, and that's brought it back to life. But the product, the quality of it has gone down, and I've noticed that specifically with the Bobbi Brown ones. The MAC one, this one, I've had this one for significantly a lot longer amount of time, and it's actually still quite creamy. It's still pretty creamy. It's not as creamy as it was in those first few months I had it, but it's still quite creamy. But when you're using gel pots like these, it means you have to apply your eyeliner with a brush. And put those down. A slanted brush is best. I've got two little slanted brushes here. This one's a little one, this one's slightly bigger. And this is, the reason it's slanted is to actually help you get the flick proper style. And you don't have to spend a fortune on brushes. I really don't think it's that necessary. And if you are going to spend more on brushes, I always feel like it's better to do it on brushes for your face, so like foundation brushes or concealer brushes, because I think if you have a really solid base with good finish, then anything you put on top of that is going to look good. So I always prefer to invest in like face brushes rather than little eye brushes. So these were like really cheap. So you need a brush for the eyeliner, so it's a little bit more complicated. So if this is your first time, or you've not done it very much, I would go with either a crayon, pencil, or the nib thing. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with the crayon and then show you this one. So there's a little trick to get the flick perfect that you can use, and that is by getting an eyeshadow, a dark one, either like grey, or I'm going to use blue here because it's the only one I have, and putting down like a baseline for you to follow, a very faint baseline. So I get a little bit of the product, very small amount, because we don't really want to see it. It's not part of our finished look, but it's just there for a guideline. So one way they tell you to do this is by pretending as if your lower lash continues upwards, so like following a line like that towards your outer eyebrow. So that's one way the makeup artists say you should do it. Pretend this line carries on, and that method looks great on most people, it really does. However, on my eyes, I notice it looks a little bit too much, like the flick seems too extreme, too high, too much angle, if you know what I mean. So I always take it down a little bit. So with this eyeshadow guideline trick, basically just need to give yourself a guideline. So follow that, or take it down slightly, which is what I've done. So I'm taking that down quite a lot. It doesn't have to be pretty, literally just to give yourself an idea, okay? So today, because I'm doing a daytime flick, it's not that extreme as well. And what you can do the same on the other side and follow what you've done on this eye and do the same on that eye, which can be quite tricky. That's something I find to be the hardest thing, is working out and getting the same on both sides. But then I always say to myself, they are twins. No, they are sisters, not twins. So it's okay if they're a little bit different. Unless you're doing it for a really special event, like, a wedding, an awards night, something. You're giving a speech somewhere, and you're in a situation where a lot of people are going to take photographs, something like that. Okay, so now you can see there's a decent basis of the curve. And I didn't go too far in, because here you can follow your eye's line. I don't really need to know and have an eyeshadow guideline, but if you feel you need it, then feel free to go and do it, because we're going to go over it. It's not going to be an obvious thing. But the flick, I think, is the main thing when you're putting down this foundational guideline. So once you've done that, I'm going to show you how to do it with a crayon first. A crayon eyeliner pencil. I don't know why I keep saying crayon. I think it's because they call this line of eyeliners crayon. So, and I can see that it's getting stuck in my unfortunate wrinkles. Okay. So I'm looking down in a mirror underneath that I have here, but you can still see what I'm doing. So you need to follow this line here. I like to keep it as small as you know, a shallow line as possible at first. You can always build it up if you want, and then also if you have any, if you make any mistakes, it gives you more room to even it out. So I'm gonna start not at the very tip, but just sort of where my eye ends. I'm gonna start putting it on there. Followed my line, as you can see. Am I in focus? I hope so. There we go. And then I'm just gonna follow it in. Sometimes I'll use the side of it here because it gives me more space to work with, and not always working with the tip. And if you can have it, your pencil as sharp as possible, that helps too. It's really simple. Take your time, don't worry. Don't feel you have to rush or anything. Okay. So we have the eye down there. So now it's just the flick. And just follow it. So you want to pick your outer point first and then follow it in. That's what I like to do. Because the outer point, I feel, is a really important point, and if you do that first and get your initial positioning of that perfect, then the rest will sort itself out. So you pick your outer point. I close that eye almost completely and just use this one. If you can do that, it's really helpful, but if not, you know, reasonably closed is good enough. As long as you can see. If you have to angle your mirror and whatever just to get it right for yourself, then do. So pick that outer point and then just draw inwards. So I did mess it up slightly, but then I just fixed my mistake. Fill that little bit in there. I go back here and do the line again. So my guideline was more of a gentle gradient flick, but when it's come down to it and me actually doing it, it's turned it into a thicker flick. It doesn't look bad, it still looks good. I just go with whatever happened on the first eye and then make the next eye matter, unless it's a really important event, unless it's a place where you want your makeup to be exactly a certain way. If it looks reasonably good on my first eye, I'll just normally just go with whatever that style was. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this eye, but I'm going to use the liquid pen to show you a different stance on it. Okay, liquid pen. Now you can see it close up. It's really nifty. Very, very precise, very thin. So when you're doing your second eye, you kind of want to look straight ahead and figure out what the curvature is of your first eye. Try and understand, you know, how you've done it, where your outside point is, how far it is, and also how intense the angle of the sweep is in this corner. So when I close my eyes, you can see there isn't much angle there. It's not like a curve like that. It's more of a straight line, and the curve is more in this bottom end of the flick near my left inner corner, outer corner. You don't have to think about it in so much detail if you're a very visual person. Visually, you know, just try and understand what you've done. I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself now to get this right, but we'll see. Okay, so then I pick the corner, outer corner. When I use this pen, I normally go with the outer corner first. I don't know why. I just go in with it like that. Check my other eye again and just extend it a little bit further. And there you go, the flick's done. And it is really similar to that other eye. Then you just gotta fill in the rest of it. Try and get it as close down to the lashes as possible. As close as possible. You've got a lot of space to work with here, and don't be afraid of using the sides. It really, really helps a lot. And turn it the other way and do the inside. Don't worry, just take your time. And just clean up any edges that look odd. There we go. You still see a little bit of that eyeshadow guide there. And it's completely disappeared on the other side, the eyeshadow guide. But on this side it's still there, which is fine. If that's the case, just get a Q-tip, put it in my mouth, and just slowly get rid of it. Trying not to ruin your liquid line. There you go. Now I've gotten rid of it. You can't really tell on camera, but I can tell here in my little mirror. Now I've gotten rid of that eyeshadow line. I see the flick is not as bold and black as it is here in the middle. Don't know if you can see that. Just a little bit opaque here, see-through. So I'm just going to go over it to make it bold. You follow your line that's already there and everything will be fine. There you go. And there you have it. That is how you do the eyeliner. But it is one of those things that it takes practice. The first time you do it, the first few times you do it, if you mess it up, that's fine. Don't worry, don't be hard on yourself. It does take time. And as long as you go slow and start small, you can always build up and even out your mistakes. But this also shows you how using different products can make the look. This green one, like, yeah, it's a bright colour, but because it's a crayon, the finish of it is very soft and it's quite daytimey. I think it's a very soft look, whereas this is bolder. It's more striking, and because the liquid black is such a bold colour, and also the finish of the line is really precise, whereas the finish of this is a little bit softer. It just depends what you like, and depends whether it's a normal day or whether you're doing something specific or you're going on a date or something. So it's just whatever you prefer. And so I hope you liked that. I hope you found it helpful. I'll see you soon.